Look, listen, lads, I don't mean to alarm anyone, but football is coming home.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson?
Yo guys, it's your boy Darren here. Welcome back to today's video reacting to the World Cup draw for Qatar 2022. Yes, yesterday, legends of the game and Jermaine Genius came together to execute the draw for November and December's tournament, and today we're going to take a look through, get some early predictions in, and see who's going to get out of these groups. Yeah, man, like everyone, honestly, there's some good groups here. I feel like everybody has a good chance of getting out of it, and then like Saudi Arabia exists. But if you're going to enjoy this video, feel free to slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. It really does help me out. 1,286% of you are currently not subscribed, so I'd really appreciate it if you hit that big red button. Now, there's no prizes for guessing which group we're gonna start with. It's Group A. Now, I just want to let you all know, yeah, like, come to the World Cup a day late, yeah. Don't worry about being on time, because the opening game of this whole tournament is Qatar versus Ecuador. Like shouts Ecuador, they've actually been pretty good in South American qualifying. Like, we're talking a maximum of 6 professional players in that. That's me. But the real giants of this group should, in theory, be Louis van Gaal's Netherlands. They're not under the same managership and leadership. Managership is not a word. They're not under the same leadership as they were at the Euros, where they kind of underperformed, and in qualifying for that tournament. So I think they'll be a bit better than they were before. They got some younger players who have aged a little bit, got a bit more experience since the last tournament. Senegal as well. Lads, as an African man, you are doing the heavy lifting. Yeah, obviously Nigeria, plane tickets got cancelled. Yeah, we're not coming back. We don't even get VIP box tickets. If Emmanuel Dennis wants to go to the tournament, he's sat in the away end. So, and a lot of the other African nations have got pretty difficult groups. So Senegal, I don't mean to put all the pressure on you, but all the pressure's on you. I'm thinking Netherlands and Senegal to get through in that one. Group B is where it gets interesting, because honestly, this is just derbies for days. England v USA, the football v soccer derby. If we lose that to the LeBron James of football, I'm not gonna lie, we might have to change the name still.
I'm rapidly falling out of love with soccer.
USA v Iran, like the Persian oil Gulf crisis derby. And then out of the European playoff, we could either get Wales or Scotland. Obviously, we could get Ukraine, but if it's one of the first two, that's just a local derby between us and them. The Twitter content is going to be outstanding. Whether the footballing quality will be that good, I don't know. But Gareth Southgate and his relatively new lack of waistcoat should be getting out of this pretty easily. I think Iran will be better than people give them credit for. I think they were the first team to qualify out of Asian qualifying. Any team that plays Scott McTominay at centre-back is not getting out of a World Cup group. I don't make the rules. So yeah, I'm probably going to, for safeness here, go England and the US, but Ukraine or Wales could do a job technically. Group C, we've got Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland in this one. Argentina, of course, would be extremely disappointed if they don't win the group overall. I mean, last time I said Turkey were going to be a dark horse, so sorry to Argentina, you're not winning this tournament. But I have them as a little bit of a dark horse as well, solely because of the storyline of Lionel Messi getting like 0.3 goal contributions so far this calendar year, to then lifting the World Cup, but then he'd win the Ballon d'Or solely for winning the World Cup. Either way, Argentina should get out of this group pretty comfortably. Saudi Arabia, I'm really sorry to say, but your management only booked the hotel for the group stages. Like, they know where this tournament ends for you lot already. They've invoiced the FA solely for the first 2 weeks of the competition. They're going home, in my opinion. Then it becomes between Mexico and Poland. Now, this is not a great Mexican side, but equally, Poland was so bad at the Euros. They do rely on Lewandowski a lot, but do have a new manager. Now, on stream yesterday, I was pretty torn, but I think I'm gonna go with Mexico just over Poland here. Group D, I cannot lie to you, this should be a pretty simple affair as well. The intercontinental playoff for this one is either going to be UAE, Australia, or Peru. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, none of them are getting out of this group. I didn't even know the UAE played football like that. So big ups to them for getting this far, but I think Australia will beat them. And then out of Australia and Peru, just make it a draw. Get Nigeria in instead. Can we have a second chance, please? Tunisia don't play nice football. They're not really that good, even though they obviously... But no, I don't think there should be a challenge, really. So I think that's a pretty cut and dry one, to be honest with you. Group E is a very tasty affair. I'm gonna be totally honest. We got Spain, Germany, Japan, and then one of New Zealand or Costa Rica. Now, I'll back Costa Rica to beat New Zealand. A, because I think they're slightly better. But B, their form in CONCACAF qualifying qualifying up until this point to make a late charge for qualification has been mad. They've just beaten the US as well in their final game, so I would definitely back them to beat New Zealand on like a form basis. Obviously, they won their group in 2014 that had England and Italy in it, so you can't underestimate them, but obviously it's not the same side as back then. This should be Spain and Germany, but don't be surprised if Japan and Costa Rica, I mean, if they get through, but don't be surprised if they cause an upset or two. Now, Group F could be a pretty good one. Now, Belgium obviously are like usually the favorites. Like whatever they could go out of this group and they would still be the #1 ranked team in the world. They've got obviously the likes of De Bruyne, Lukaku, Jordan Lukaku, obviously, because Romelu, I mean, you know. They realistically will be expectant like Argentina in Group C. They'll be expectant they're going to win this group, but it's a hard one. I'm not going to lie. Canada got a very good young squad, like a new age squad, if you like. They're sort of entering a potential golden generation. My boy Liam Miller's going to a World Cup as well. Morocco performed pretty well at AFCON. They've got some decent players, obviously the likes of Ashraf Hakimi, but they still have a decent chance. And then Croatia as well, who obviously got to the World Cup semi-finals back in 2018, but the squad has aged so drastically since then. There's no Mandzukic anymore. Modric is genuinely 46. I honestly think there's going to be a surprise though here. I shouldn't bet against Croatia, because every time you do, everyone, like, they prove you wrong. But I'm gonna do it because I never learned my lesson. Belgium and Canada. Group G is, I mean, to be honest with you, the whole second half of groups are just a free-for-all. Like, this one could be anyone's game as well. Obviously, Brazil are the favorites, but alongside them, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. Cameroon, who took 3rd place from Burkina Faso in the African Cup of Nations. They've got some good players, Abu Bakar, Toko Ekambi, Anana in goal. Switzerland, I mean, I said this on stream yesterday, but they just always spawn in the round of 16. You don't really know how they got there, and then they get there and then lose. Like, the only time they haven't done that is like against France, which was pretty sick, to be fair. And then Serbia as well, whose attacking options are pretty frightening. I can't even lie. Like Vlahovic, Tadic, Mitrovic is killing it in the championship this season. Cameroon and Switzerland are going to come very close here, but I think I'm just about going to go with Serbia in terms of edging it out of that group along with Brazil. And then finally, Group H. This, for me, we've left the best till last. This is the best group of the whole draw. It's multicultural, it's a complete shambles, there's a chance for revenge, and honestly, I have no fucking clue what's gonna happen in it, even now. But we've got Portugal, we've got Ghana, we've got Uruguay, and we've got South Korea, and there's ballers in all of these teams. And then there's Ghana. Now, obviously, Portugal, we all know about Portugal, right? Big Ronaldo, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes. These are big men, apart from Bernardo Silva, who's actually relatively small as a man, but that's compensated for by Ronaldo's jumping reach. Regardless, what I'm trying to say is these are very good footballers, but under the management of someone who arguably, I think Portuguese fans, most Portuguese fans would argue, shouldn't be in the role anymore. So that could hold them back. You know, they were relatively unimpressive at times during the Euros. Then we've got Uruguay, who, whilst their front line is aging now, Luis Suarez is not the same Luis Suarez as a few years ago, they still got great players. Erwin Núñez is a great player too. Midfield, the likes of Bentancur, Lucas Torreira will still be kicking about, I'm sure. South Korea, I think, are going to be very reliant on Heung-min Son, if we're being totally honest, but he is like a world-class footballer. So with that, you have a chance anyway. I think the main concern for them will be defensively, to be honest. And then we've got Ghana, who a lot of people, I think, still think are the Ghana from the 2010 World Cup, but the reality is they're not. Asamoah Gyan has a free bus pass now. Andre Ayew is not bad, but aging. Jordan Ayew is not a clinical finisher. Thomas Partey's good. Kudus is good. They've got a good midfield, but their goalkeeper plays for Swindon, and I think that pretty much tells you the quality of the overall squad now. So I don't really back them to get through. I want them to get through because, again, Africa and that. I do think Portugal will make it through, but I think they'll make a hash of it. And because of Heung-min Son, and I rate him as a man, I'm saying South Korea. That's my logical reasoning, as we all know it's going to be Uruguay. So that's my immediate thoughts on the draw. I think it's a really good draw, honestly. I like the fact there's not a real group of death. So I like the way that it's pretty balanced. There's not too many groups where there's only 2 teams that are basically just guaranteed to go through. But let me know what you think is going to happen at the World Cup based on these groups. Who's making it into the knockout stages? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. It's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.